Imagine you're in your class. The lights are dimmed a bit like this, and the kids are sitting in their desks, and you're holding on to something in your hand. They can see it, but not clearly, but enough for you to ask them, make some observations with what you think I'm holding in my hand. And they will. They'll write a couple things down, and while they're doing that, you can then do the next step. And you can light it. And ask them to make a few more observations. After a little bit of time, you can blow it out. And then for a final observation, some of those observations were probably inferences. Now let's go take a look at it. Just before we go and take a look at that last activity, I just wanted to step in here for a moment and have a quick comment about fire safety, because several of our activities do use an open flame in the classroom. Now, I would highly recommend that you check with your administration and your school policies around using open flame. You may be allowed to use it for a demonstration, you may not be. I hope that you are, and I hope the school has a policy for that and that you follow that policy to the letter. If you're not sure, nsta.org has a great set of resources on science safety, and they'll be able to help you out. For all our activities, we have a fire extinguisher and a fire blanket right beside me, that if we ever had a safety issue, they would be usable at a moment's notice. So it's important to know where those are located in your classroom, or they might be just out in the hallway, depending on your classroom context. So there is a risk. We believe it's an acceptable risk if it's mitigated with the appropriate equipment and following the policies within your school. Now let's go take a look at that cheese stick candle. So now that you've seen this activity and it fits within the thinking category of sort and categorize, we're kind of zooming into inferring and observing. And I think you'll agree with me that most of the kids will be pretty surprised by the end of this particular demo. And so as you were asking, or I was asking for observations, you want to get them to write those down, because now you're going to be able to go back and start to sort some of those into observations or into inferences. So let's just take a look at how I set it up, and you know now kind of how to take it farther with the kids in terms of inferring and observing and working on those skills within the thinking category of sort and categorize. So for this activity, I have some almond slivers. So of course, if there's any allergies in your class, this might not be the time to do this one. We have a lighter, and we have our mozzarella cheese stick, which is the star of the whole thing. So I'm able to make it look like a candle, which many kids probably inferred because of the lights being a little bit dimmer, and then you lit it. And then I took it a little bit farther with eating at the end, which you don't have to do. But the idea is that you hold it and far enough away, asking them for observations. Great little activity, definitely going to get them engaged and thinking about what's going on in science today.